I think it should be a good game. I think we talked about it coming into the AFC Championship game where overall the 49ers are a better team, but it's Pat Mahomes, and you can't take that for granted. Um, last time he was on the stage, he lost, so I'm pretty sure that he want to right those wrongs. Um, so I expect a good game, but I also expect the same way the Ravens did run the ball, San Francisco will run the ball. They gonna keep pounding the ball. They're gonna keep running the ball until they can't run the ball no more. Um, but it should be a good game. Um, it definitely should be a good game. I expect the 49ers to take advantage of the tight coverage that the Kansas City play. It's gonna be a lot of double moves. There's gonna be a lot of screens. There's gonna be a lot of everything underneath. Because I think Kyle is small enough, and I think coming to this game, who has the most pressure, I feel like it's definitely Kyle Shanahan. He has to win this game. For he that Mahomes and did this before, Reed and did this. It seemed like Kyle gets far in the playoffs or get far and then lose. So because of his play calling, because of what he does, he don't run the ball, he run away. But I think this season he has shown, and in this playoffs he has shown that it don't matter what, no matter how much they down, he's gonna stick to the run. But the Chiefs, like I said, that defense is real. They gonna come in ready. It's Andy Reid, it's Pat Mahomes. Like I just said, they've been here before. They're gonna come in ready. They're gonna come in ready to go. And I'm not counting Mahomes out. I expect the 49ers to win the game, but I'm not counting the Chiefs out, man. Not at this point. You can't count Pat Mahomes out. I expect him to show up. I expect Kelsey to show up. But will he have enough? I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it though.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is a great matchup, being that it's a rematch of a Super Bowl from a few years ago. It's another opportunity for Kyle Shanahan to kind of exact revenge and show the growth in his coaching, the growth in his system, and the growth of his team versus Patrick Mahomes, who, let's be real, he's been dynastic. He's been the Michael Jordan of the NFL. Um, and we just have to see how this works out. I mean, listen, the 49ers definitely played the Chiefs and lost, in the previous matchup in the Super Bowl, but they didn't have Christian McCaffrey. They didn't have a quarterback that they felt could make every throw, make every decision, and be consistent in that. A lot of times they felt like they were winning despite of Jimmy G. And now they're not winning games despite of Brock Purdy. He's one of the key ingredients as far as why they're winning. He gets the ball out on time. He's been making clutch plays as far as in these playoffs. Whenever they need a drive, he makes sure to leads them in the drive. He's not making the big time mistakes. He hasn't been perfect, but he hasn't made the big time mistakes. So that's already a upgrade from Jimmy G, who, in the biggest moment, he's littered with mistakes, whether it's overthrows, interceptions, fumbles, you name it. That was kind of his calling card. So you add that portion of it in, plus Christian McCaffrey, somebody that you can entrust with the ball 20 to 30 times in any given game, and you know what he's going to do with the football. He does it every single game. He's done it since he was a rookie in this NFL. So that's going to be a challenge for the Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs come in with the confidence that they can beat the 49ers, the experience in beating the 49ers. You come in with a two-time Super Bowl champion quarterback. They have that bravado, they have that swagger, that winning aura to them. They've already done it, so they don't have to go out and prove anything like a Kyle Shanahan and Co do. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, and it's going to be about whose will prevails. Will the will to win and continue the dynasty for the Chiefs, will that prevail, or will this hunger of the 49ers having, had NFC championship defeat and Super Bowl defeat after defeat on their jacket and having to get over that hump, kind of similar to the Baltimore Ravens, in that sense, to where uh, maybe their hump is a little higher than ours as far as having to get over. They've been to a Super Bowl before, but again, they've come up short. There's only one winner each year, so it don't matter. I'm not one of those people that like want to give somebody like Joe Burrow a kudos because he made it to a Super Bowl. He lost. He lost just like everybody else. There's only one winner. So that's the same with the 49ers. They have to get over this hump. And it's kind of hard to call the game because I do feel San Francisco is equipped to stop them defensively. They're equipped to put pressure on them running the football. getting the football to McCaffrey, using Debo as an extension as the run game, play action. And I don't think they'll get tricked into playing Mahomes' game. You know, a lot of teams they get suckered into trying to out Mahomes. That's not a winning recipe. I think the winning recipe for the 49ers is to continue to pound that football and keep the pace down. I don't think there should be a shootout. This should be a snail crawl. You know, I would want to keep the ball away from Mahomes. I would want to make sure that I get their defense tired, slow up their pass rush, and just control the clock in that sense and play sound defense. I think the 49ers have the ingredients to do that, but it's Mahomes. It's hard to bet against them. I'm just rooting against him here.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it since the NFC title game. I think this game comes down to coaching. You looked at the NFC title game, the 49ers down 17.5. What do they do coming out in the second half? They stick to their game plan. They stay true to the run game. They ran the ball over 20 times in the second half, despite starting to have down 17 points. So this is a team that if Kyle sticks to their strengths, they can go in there and win this game. But if Kyle wants to get cute, kind of start to do things that aren't of the norm of the 49ers, then I just watched this guy 2 weeks ago in the bank, number 15, and he's every bit of advertised. So I can't really bet against Mahomes. I really think that Spagnuolo defense is going to turn over Brock Purdy 1 or 2 times. Mahomes still doesn't have an interception. So if the 49ers can't get him off the field, they couldn't get Jared Goff off the field in the first half of the NFC title game. So if you can't get Pat Mahomes off the field, it'll be a long day. I think he's over like 200 completions now in the postseason without an interception. So that'll be the key. Can you turn Mahomes over? Can you stop Pacheco, contain Pacheco? Because that's really been their 1-2 punch all year. Just run Pacheco, then they're going to hit Kelsey up a seam, hit Rashee Rice, something like that. So I don't know how you bet against Mahomes is my thing. Like I don't know.
Well, the question becomes, do you think that the 49ers are going to play zone for an entire half of football?
They're not that dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it gotta be just us.
Right.
Fuck.
I mean, and they called the defense out. Wilkes, you know, they on the defense saying they was very lackadaisical. They on record saying they was very lackadaisical against the Lions, and you know, they wasn't paying attention to details. So I expect that defense to play much better. And then San Francisco, I mean, this would be number 8. They'd take over the overall lead. So that's I mean, I'm pretty sure they plan for that. They won't be stuck at 7 championships no more. But yeah, I don't think San Francisco is going to get outside.
Defense been looking like a daisical all playoffs. It looked kind of like a daisical against Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean that's why they called him out. That's why he went to the media and called them out the way he did. And Greenlaw and them said they hear the message. They're gonna play better. But we'll see. Like I said, I echo both of y'all messages. I echo the message that the Ravens had. Like it's Pat Mahomes. It's gonna be hard to beat him. Because at this point he wants another Super Bowl. Like he's playing this game for his legacy. Like he wants another Super Bowl. It's gonna be tough to beat him. But we'll see what the game. I'm interested to see what the game plan that San Francisco will come out with. As far definitely defensively, are they gonna blitz him? What are they gonna do? They're gonna sit back, and then once again they're gonna run the ball. But like I said, San Francisco. But the thing about it is like the Chiefs gonna be able to move the ball in the San Francisco defense. Like you said, it's gonna come down to if they can get him off the field, if they can turn him over. But they definitely they're gonna be able to run the ball against them. The Lions was able to run the ball against them, and if for a couple, if it wasn't for a couple of Gibbs fumble and a couple of Campbell fourth down going for it, we talk about a different outcome there. So they're gonna be able to move the ball against the 49ers defense. This game will come down to turnovers, and it's Pat Mahomes gonna be Pat Mahomes, and we've seen time and time again that he is Pat Mahomes.
Definitely, and I mean we talked about it. The Chiefs' run defense and how they gave up 182 yards to Buffalo, Cook and Josh Allen. I'm looking at Christian McCaffrey and I'm thinking, if James Cook went out there and did that, I'm thinking barbecue chicken if you stick to the game plan with Christian McCaffrey and give him his 20+ runs a game, give him a couple touches in the pass game. Just playing devil's advocate, if that's the case, and the 49ers are stuck in a shootout with the Chiefs.
Well, I mean, to Buffalo, yeah. In fairness to Buffalo, I mean, they were one of the best running teams all season. They just were brain dead the first half of the season. They chose not to be. They chose not to do what they were good at, right? So
yeah, that's been their thing.
That's but once they figured it out, and they were kind of lethal in that regard. One thing about San Francisco is I don't think they need to figure it out. I mean, experience is the greatest teacher. And, there's only some coaches in the NFL that refuse to adapt to failure, right? I don't know if Kyle Shanahan is one of those coaches. I can name one of those coaches, but I'll chill. But I think, losing that Atlanta at 28-3, I think that shit stings, right? I think that shit burns him up. Every time he looks in the mirror, it burns him up.
They were up 20-10 against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl too, and they can let him come back and win. That shit
burns him up.
Burns him up.
And you saw how that failure might have led to last game against the Lions, where they're down multiple scores. He don't care. We're gonna stay patient. We're gonna play our game. We're not gonna panic. We're gonna show some poise. And I think that sent a message to the rest of the team too, as far as just giving them confidence. Like in any situation, you got to remember the 49ers hadn't been playing from behind a lot this entire season. So to be able to do it twice in the playoffs against quality teams, quality offenses, young offenses, you got to tip your hat to that. I think the Chiefs should be favored. I'm kind of confused as far as why the 49ers are favored, even though it's very slight, right? It's a coin flip pretty much, but I would have gave the nod to the experienced champions in this regard. But again, I do think there's value in a coach that has to call the plays, not just has to designate things to his coordinators and rely on them. Somebody who has to put that on his jacket, like, I got to call these plays to make shit shake. I think it burns him up, seeing winnable games just disappear and him being part of the reason why, because he didn't stick to what he did best. So I don't expect that to be an issue. And if that's not an issue, they have a chance, a good chance, but we'll see.
So what about Purdy? He leads the league with 142.0 passer rating on throws more than 20 yards down the field, including 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. Kansas City's defense, though, ranked 6th in that category, allowing a rating of 67.3 on deep passes. You think Purdy will be able to stretch the field on this defense?
It's going to depend on the run game. It's going to depend on how if they getting chunk plays in a run game where they sucking that defense up, but if they limiting Christian to 3 and 4 yards a carry, no, it's going to be hard. That secondary proved who they are. That secondary proved all year. They definitely proved in the NFC Championship game. It's going to be hard to throw the field on them. But also, I mean, it's a different offense, so the route combinations are going to be different. People run wide open in this. It's the same thing we talk about when we see Green Bay. These receivers run wide open in these offenses. So we're going to see, what type of route trees they run or whatever to get open. But initially, I don't think so. But if they be able to run the ball a little bit and suck in them linebackers and bring them safeties down, yeah, they're going to be able to throw the ball. They definitely going to be able to throw the ball.
And I think it's important to remember, I mean, the 49ers average almost 7 yards on first down. So if they can stay ahead of the sticks somewhere where we struggled in the AFC title game, you may be able to keep that Kansas City defense on their heels.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 49ers have done a good job of keeping Brock clean mostly this season. And I think that's going to be the Chiefs' calling card is, can they get to Brock? But there's ways in which you can limit the pass rush. 1, running the ball. 2, getting the ball quickly out, whether it's to McCaffrey or Debo. And I like to refrain from making any judgments on this game using what we saw versus Baltimore, because we didn't even play our game. Like, we got bit so bad, like we didn't even get to play Baltimore Ravens football. So I don't even throw that out the door. This Chiefs defense can be had. It can be had. I think we made them look better than what they were. To sit there and act like, they're a 10-point, they're a defense that only gives up 10 points in a game. That's because I saw Buffalo go up and down the field. You know what I mean? And that
more than that.
they can be had. And I think Kyle Shanahan, he's not going to be the type to, if he goes down, 7-0 or 14-7 in the first quarter, I don't think he's going to totally abandon his game plan for the rest of the game. So I do think there's going to be pressure on Kansas City, and it's going to be pressure that they can handle. It's not to say that they're running from pressure or anything. I just think it's just going to be a whole different dynamic.
You're giving Kyle 2 weeks to develop a game plan for everything he's seen. Like, so it's gonna be interesting to see what they come out. Them first 15 scripted plays, I'm real interested to look at those first 15 scripted plays.
And they got a lot to account for, right? So you take who if you're the Chiefs, who do you want to take out? Do you want to take out C-Mac and Debo? Because you still got to answer for Kittle and Ayuk, and then Jennings might get involved, on some sneaky shit. Right. So, or do you want to take out Ayuk and Kittle and then, say we'll let C-Mac beat us? It's gonna be challenging. It's gonna be one of those situations where I think it's gonna be relatively high scoring, but I think defense is going to be the calling card of the Super Bowl. And I know that's a contradiction, but I think there's going to be some turnovers, some plays had, some big plays by the defenses, but it's going to be some touchdowns scored as well.
Definitely. So on the other side, Kansas City, another Super Bowl title will move Mahomes and Reed in a sole possession, a second place at QB and coach combo, postseason wins. What would a third Super Bowl mean for Pat Mahomes and his legacy?
I mean, it'll help it, of course, but it's right. I mean, I think he's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen play the game. It's just going to add to it, not help it. I guess that's the wrong word. It's just going to add to it. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Should get all the votes, whatever. It's just going to add to it. It's going to add to it. I don't think he had a point in his career. We seen him do things where even if he loses this game, it ain't going to sting. It's not one of those things where him losing another Super Bowl was like, oh, he can't win. He's still that guy. It just adds to it. That's all it is. It's just going to add to it. It's going to add to that mystique. I think Nick mentioned it. The Michael Jordan football. He's just going to keep adding and building. And really, any bad thing you better say about him, you definitely not going to be able to say it now.
Well, if we're using like traditional metrics, his first 6 years clears just about anybody. And that's just box score watching. If you're watching the games, if you're seeing how he's doing what he's doing, it's really no conversation to be had as far as is he the greatest we've ever seen? Yeah, he's that. he's that. And he's so Brady-like because early in Brady's career, Brady had to keep down the Peyton Mannings and the Phillip Rivers and so on and so forth. Mahomes doing the same thing. When we look back at it, and if it continues to go how it's going, we look back at it like holding down Lamar, Josh Allen, the Herberts, the Trevor Lawrence. I mean, we could go down the list. I mean, any AFC quarterback is having a problem with this guy. So another Super Bowl, like what are we talking about? You know what I mean? At this point, he's in rare air with Brady, and we're talking about pace. So Brady got to play a full career into his mid-40s. He got that right now. Longevity, totality of his career. Clearly, Brady is number one right now. But we're talking about what he's on pace to do. If he wins this Super Bowl, I mean, we haven't seen a pace like this because not only is he winning Super Bowls, he's putting up the numbers and he's doing it pretty. Like the stuff he's doing is, the playmaking, the making something out of nothing. I don't know if Brady was doing that. He was checking down a lot and he was smart in that regard, but I don't know if he was running around, avoiding sacks, flipping it to Kelsey just diving out for play. I don't remember Brady doing all that. Brady was great. Don't remember Brady doing all of that.
Yeah. You mentioned Brady, him and Belichick are number one on the list. They 30-11 in playoff games. Mahomes and Reed 14-3. It's only one other modern QB player coach on that list. Who you think it is?
You said playoff wins?
Yeah, for starting QB coach combo, most playoff wins together.
Is it Reed and McNabb? I was thinking that too.
So let me take another guess. If it's not Reed and McNabb,
AFC or
Dividing?
NFC?
It's AFC.
So is it Dungy and Manning?
No, this is records. So I guess it's got to do with having the best record, not necessarily wins.
Not okay. So percentage. We talking about percentage wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
They tied for 5th. They tied with Montana and Bill Walsh.
So is it Tomlin and Big Ben?
No.
All right, I'm done guessing. I don't know.
It's Flacco and John Harbaugh.
Oh fuck! No. That's wild.
They
Bring
10 and
back
5.
Flacco.
They 10 and 5. They
That's
10 and
wild.
5 together. So what's your final predictions for this game? Who you going with? Everybody rolling with Mahomes?
I'm going with the 49ers by field goal.
I'm going with the 49ers. But knowing the NFL, knowing Taylor Swift, I don't
Right.
I don't know what the NFL. I don't know what they scripting up, man.
Exactly.
Now, I'm a roll with y'all too. I wish I had the 1, 2, 3, but I think it's the Niners' time. They've been here. I think it's Kyle's chance to finally get him one.
I would like that script.
It's just
I want to see
that
a new
bad
winner.
guy. 15 tough dog. Like I just seen him right behind me a week and a half ago. He tough dog. So I'm never gonna count them out, despite them not having the weapons that they normally have. But I think it's if the 49ers stay true to who they are and get that ball to Christian McCaffrey, Offensive Player of the Year, which we'll get to.
I ain't gonna lie.
I think they got a chance.
I'm definitely biased. It's fuck 15 right now.
Yeah, I don't want. I mean, like I said, I don't want to see him win another Super Bowl. Like, I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
Yeah, he's so great that I don't like him no more. Like he's starting to he's been hurting my heart too much. Like, you gotta chill. Let somebody else have some fun out here, man. Like, goddamn. I want Christian to win too. I want him to cement his career.
Definitely.
But I also think this if they stick to the game plan, if Connor sticks to the game plan, I think this is going to make Harbaugh look even worse. Like if they able to come out and just able to run the ball and not play zone defense, it's gonna make the Ravens coaching staff look terrible. Like that's exactly what it's gonna do. And people should have more questions. If they come out and play the game plan that we thought the Ravens were gonna play, and they successfully and they able to win this game, then people should have more questions about John Harbaugh.